So, oh, what the hell?
All right, guys.
I don't know what the hell I just did.
I think I am officially here now.
Good.
Is there any problem with my connection or anything?
You're saying things twice.
Yeah.
You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the resistance.
What's up, everyone? Tin Man with the Resistance. We got Lucid here. We got Robbie. We've got a bunch of frozen screens, apparently. Freaking Curse Wolf is frozen, and Grandmaster Ribbon is frozen. What the hell?
They're the only two that really have problems.
I noticed. I think somebody's driving a truck or something.
No, it's Wolf. He's outside. It's probably his mic. It's just going apeshit.
No, actually, what you guys were hearing was my fucking space heater.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, whatever works, whatever helps keep you warm.
Alright, so I guess we're just going to wait on them to come back for a second. I guess.
And then fall off again.
And then fall off again. And then falafel.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's up, dude.
Falafel.
That's fucking insane, dude. I mean, fucking connection and shit. What the hell?
Yeah, it fucking sucks, dude.
Abracadabra!
Gotta look at this and shit, dude.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Chris, what the fuck are you wearing?
My bandana.
He's got long hair,
okay.
too. Have you seen his long hair? Bro.
Dude.
Remember how my shit was in high school? That's how his is now. Right? I told him to stay away from truck stops.
No, I think that's his
I am not a lot lizard.
his way of making Mr. Giggles happy and giving him something to pull when he's fucking him in the ass.
Right.
No. Fuck away from me. He wants to stick those nunchucks somewhere. Ow! Okay. Jesus!
We're losing people.
People can't stay on. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Fucking, this internet fucking sucks.
Hey, I have a question for you, Robbie. How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon? 3.5?
Okay.
Nothing.
Alright, so check this out. I'm gonna bring this up. Bring you and Robbie up to speed here.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Alright, so I guess the main debate is about homeschool is child abuse.
Yeah. Bringing up that video right now.
Okay.
Just kind of listen real quick. He's playing the video.
Yeah, this was off the Freedom Project. They're the ones that posted this.
This is Right Makes Might with Dr. Duke.
I'm getting a bad connection, man.
Hi, I'm Dr. Duke, and this is Right Makes Might. Well, from the file of I Told You So, and man, is that getting to be a long and depressing I Told You So. We have news out of California that the California legislature is now considering a piece of law that will assume, basically, that homeschool parents are child abusers. This law is going to force moms and dads who homeschool their kids a legal right, a God-given right, a common-sense right to choose school choice to educate your own kids. That will be treated as if it was a kind of child abuse in the sense that the state will compel state agents into the home to meet with families, including child service welfare experts will come to the home because the premise is going to be that there is something fishy or abusive or coercive about homeschool education. This is a remarkable development. It's one that we could have seen coming, though, as the more pressure we put kids to get into public schools, the more we force them to take certain kinds of tests, the more collectivizing education education becomes under things like Common Core and the Every Student Succeeds Act. As more of that happens, more control over our public school kids, the less freedom, the greater the attack on homeschooling. According to the Washington Examiner newspaper, this proposed California law will change the valid legal option of homeschooling from a fundamental parental right to a compelled consent to government intrusion upon the privacy of the home and of the school, of school choice. And what's really remarkable about this is it's a reaction to the Turpin case. You may remember the Turpin family.
Nobody cares.
In California, for years and years and years, kept their kids home from school and then tortured and abused and held them hostage. And so, of course, as is typically the California way,
everybody tortures and abuses because one family.
But here's the thing: the Washington Examiner also did a serious investigation. I've looked into this too. All the major psychological websites, all the major psychiatric statements about education and dangers to children. Not one of them, not one, mentions homeschool as a potentially abusive circumstance, and we have no evidence, no statistical evidence whatsoever that homeschool families are more likely to abuse their kids than traditional families who keep their kids in public schools. There's not a shred of evidence for that. And so what do we get? Such knee-jerk and irrational solutions to a statistically unfounded problem allows unprecedented levels of government intervention into family privacy and choice, all under, again, the demonstrably false pretext that homeschool choice infers that parents are more likely to be child abusers. Well, here's the thing. You're going to pass a law like that. We have all sorts of examples beyond the Turpins of California school teachers sleeping with their children, adult men having affairs with their young female students, and an alarming number of female teachers who are messing around with their male students. We have all sorts of examples, documentable, of bullying, of abuse in the classroom that leads directly to suicide in a number of these public school kids. If we're going to play this game, let's play it. For every one Turpin, there are thousands of cases of abuse, of neglect, of bullying, of censoring, of driving kids to distraction in public schools. Let's have the same law. Let's let parent groups, let's let parents' rights groups, let's let the HSLDA, the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, into the house once a year of every public school mom and dad to make sure they are not abusing their kids in the ways that are utterly contrary to American education, freedom, and liberty. I'll bet you this. If we allow concerned and responsible parents groups to interview public school moms and dads, you're going to end up finding a lot more genuine abuse than you're going to get by coming after homeschool kids. If you enjoyed that video, please consider following us online and also consider a text.
All right, now that that's over with.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you hear that bullshit?
That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Dude, that is fucking retarded. Like, I don't even... Dude, that dude said it all already. Like, we're done. Bye. Good night, guys. There's so many There's so many documented cases, more documented cases of public school being a problem more than private school or being homeschooled. And to be honest, homeschooling is one of the things that you still have to show up at school to do homeschool. You know what I mean? So they're still going to school.
Yeah, they have to go there to what?
Well, not to mention, okay, let's put it this way. You know, we're not even talking about, you know, the sexual abuse and kids fucking their teachers and all of that shit. But if they're going to sit there and talk about abuse, these parents that are having their kids go to fucking public school and everything, if that were the case, then you might as well say that these kids getting into fights and everything are being abused by their parents because they're sending them to school.
Right. That's like saying, you know, we're all child molesters because the person next door is, or, you know, we're all mass murderers because Ted Bundy was, or, you know, that just makes absolutely no sense. There's no more or any less risk of homeschooling a child than there is of putting a child in public school. In fact, I would say public school is a little worse because there's kids from all kinds of different types of backgrounds.
My kitchen here, man.
Say again?
Huh?
What's going on, man?
Homosexuality?
I don't know. I think he needs to close a few windows on his internet port.
Turn off the porn. Not the camera, the porn. There. Did you turn the porn off?
It's insane, man.
It's insane porn? I want to know what you're watching.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I've been sitting out here for the round table, and the same police officers done passed me twice, and we both know how long the round table's been on. Not even 20 minutes. And the police officer looked at me the second time. Like, first time I waved to him, because I'm sitting outside, because my buddy across the street let me use his internet. So I'm sitting outside, getting the signal that's on the outside of edge in order for me to have better internet than just the cell phone internet.
Right.
And my genius came over here and gave me an idea, and I have to go to Walmart, spend like 20, 25 bucks, and I can take my buddy's internet signal and throw it into my house and sit in my house instead of sitting outside.
Right.
Yeah,
It's called a signal repeater.
Yeah, the range repeater is what I have to go buy.
Right.
Yeah, you should go do that. Go to Walmart right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna go fucking do as soon as I get the currency to do this shit.
I hear that.
Yeah, but I'm literally sitting outside.
All right.
You see, there's a street light right here. There's a street light right there. There's a tree right here. So
Yeah,
that
I've no camera
tells you
for
I'm
you,
sitting
dude.
outside.
Well,
Just in the middle of the city, in the neighborhood, in the city where I live. Just chilling outside on the street at my carport, my driveway.
And the cops are trying to fuck with you.
The cops are trying to fuck you. All right, but anyway, I was saying, I think that public school has a little more chance of children being bullied or abused because there's kids from every kind of background and stuff like that, rather than being homeschooled and abused or whatever. And to call homeschooling abuse is ridiculous. Is he on Walmart still?
I don't know.
His internet must be super slow, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like way past that.
No, Grandmaster's sitting in the room that he's normally in, and I just think he's always having technical difficulties for some reason. But yeah, I completely agree. I personally think that if you want to raise a kid this day and age, you would rather have them homeschooled so that they're taught by people that you trust, for one. Number two, you're technically the one deciding what they learn and what they don't learn. And as long as the school is happy, you can teach them whatever they want. So you can literally sit there and do the schoolwork and teach your kid whatever you want to teach them.
Yeah, and
Right, but they're calling it child abuse to keep your kid at home, or what is it like a precursor or a sign of child abuse to keep your
and
kid at
calling
home.
everybody else a bad apple. That's exactly what they're doing, because
It's a
I watched
pretext.
that 4-minute video because I had just acquired decent internet signal. I watched that 4-minute video, and that's basically what they're doing. They're pointing at the 2 or 3 rotten apples in the barrel and saying every apple in the barrel is just like this apple.
Right.
Well, that's your government for you. I mean, they don't
Angry
want-
Orchard.
Now, I will say this.
Don't get on that.
The only thing I see that's even remotely wrong with homeschooling is the fact that 90% of your homeschooled students come from sheltered families.
And not just that, 90% of homeschool students succeed better than the students who are in public school.
Yeah.
90, I think it's 90 out of 90% of those children that are homeschooled. I'm sorry, I'm just going to sit off camera. I can't sit on the bed like that. It's killing my back. I think 90 out of the 90% of the children that are homeschooled actually end up going to college and becoming doctors or lawyers or something like that. You know what I mean? I think they end up doing something big with their life. I don't know the actual number statistic, but I know that it's a big majority.
Yeah, well, don't the majority of these government
On
officials and
a
elites
wide
have
margin,
their
man.
kids homeschooled?
A huge
Yes.
margin.
You did
Yeah.
what?
They're doing good by a huge margin, way better than any other school. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
whether they're homeschooled or not.
Agreed.
There are kids that are going to college. They're going to get a good degree, a good job, and everything else, and they can know a little bit better by a huge wide margin than some that don't go to college,
Right.
that don't go to. I mean, they have a
And I
better,
can see-
better life.
Hey,
And
hey
I can
guys,
sit here and say
hey
the
guys,
whole reason behind that.
I hate to change the subject real quick because I know we're on a good one, but I need you all to look at Mr. Sheldon right now. Look at him. Doesn't he look like fucking Jack Sparrow's fucking like buddy from Pirates of the Caribbean? What's his name? The dude who Bootstrap Bill's son.
Bill Turner.
Bill Turner.
A little bit.
Maybe after he got
Hey,
trapped on the boat.
Hey, if I look like Orlando Bloom, fuck yeah, dude. I'll take that.
Well, from this distance, you do. I don't know about close up. You're like a Mona Lisa, bro. You look okay from far away, but when you get close up, you're like, yeah, what the hell happened?
Here's where I think the biggest problem with this.
He can't even argue with that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I think the whole premise here is the government just wants to have absolute control and dictate the family life and what the children are actually quote learning or being programmed.
And I also think that in respect to each child that goes to school, the state gets money for. So they want to eliminate all these homeschool students and maximize their revenue for the state by sending them all to public school by eliminating the private school precipice.
Yeah, well, that they want to control what the kids learn.
Right, that too.
They want to program the kids to be a part of the whole mindless group think. You know, what is school essentially? Yeah, you're learning some of the
They want you to be conformed to the corporate masters.
Yeah, and more than anything, you're being taught to comply.
Yeah, what I'm basically was trying to sit here and say before my internet went wonky for a minute was the reason why they succeed more is because A, they're learning at their own pace.
Yeah.
And there he goes again with his
Yeah, they're
internet.
learning at their own
They're
pace.
learning
And
they're learning at their own pace.
Two,
B, they're learning at a level where that they understand and they're accepting things and knowledge as they can accept them, not at a rate at somebody's teaching a mass quantity of people at one time. That's the difference here.
yeah, well, I mean, I would say that even with that in mind, with Bill Clinton's No Child Left Behind Act that he signed, I mean, everybody gets a fucking trophy anyway. So I think that every child is learning what they're supposed to be learning in public school or in private school, regardless of what happens. But I do believe more one-on-one with a child in private school is conducive to their educational growth and what is that? Ambition. To do something bigger than what, you know what I mean? Because they're encouraged by their parents, they're encouraged by the teachers. They get one-on-one at home. In public school, there's a lot less. It's like 40 kids to a classroom and one teacher. You know, I mean, you get an hour in a classroom. That's literally like 1.2 minutes per kid in that classroom. You know, so and that's if you break it down that way for the entire hour. If you break it down, because usually about the first 15 to 20 minutes, if you guys remember going to high school, the first 15 or 20 minutes is the lesson. Then you do an assignment, and at which point you are trying to get the teacher's attention if you need help with something, at which point you're lucky if you do, and if you can't get the teacher's attention, then you just kind of drift off into fucking nothingness in space, you know what I mean, or whatever. And like I said, at that point, you're getting like a minute of the teacher's time per kid, and that's if they hit every kid. And normally, when a teacher goes to help a child in a public school setting, it takes about 5-10 minutes per kid because the kid doesn't understand, so he has to have the teacher reiterate several times at that time. And it's usually the same children who have a problem with learning or whatever. And I've noticed that, though, still the one-on-one with the kids in the private setting, whether it's the parents teaching or it's a private tutor or what have you, they seem to learn a little bit quicker because the student learns the teacher and the teacher learns the student a little bit better, and therefore they can teach or they can learn according to each other's style of teaching or learning.
Yeah. And if the child is too rowdy, you know, the homeschool teacher can actually focus a little more attention on there and not get overwhelmed and go, oh, well, they just let's just put them on fucking medication and call it a day.
Well, they do that anyway.
Yeah.
That's just another way for the state to get their money.
Yeah. But you notice that's
Exactly,
less
man.
likely in homeschools as well. The statistical rate of homeschool kids on psychotropic medications is relatively low.
Well, that's because there's a relatively low number of children being privately schooled or homeschooled as opposed to public schooling. And the reason that is because usually the people who are homeschooling or private schooling are because they are well off upper middle class or upper class citizens who have the money to do that and stay home with their children and teach them. These other regular middle class and lower class citizens who have to work 2 jobs just to survive and pay their bills and stuff like that don't have the time to teach their kids, so they send them to private school. At which case they even are starting this thing now with the public schooling, and the reason why I know so much about this is because I got kids who are going into school and I've done a lot of research on it. I don't even know about this whole subject that we were talking about until 5 minutes before we started here. But what I'm trying to get at is the whole monetization thing as far as public schooling and private schooling. Private schooling, usually the parent has the time to stay home with the children and teach them, and the people who are working 2 jobs don't have the time to teach their kids. And even though they send them to public schooling, they're still not learning at the rate or the amount of the things that we had to learn when we were children. I mean, they're not even teaching cursive anymore. They're doing this Common Core math bullshit. I mean, they're trying to make it easier for the teachers to teach everybody everything in a quicker environment, but they're not sending homework home anymore. You know what I mean? They're trying to keep it to where it's all done in the classroom.
My son went through it.
What's that?
Say it again.
My son went through it. My son went through the whole Common Core bullshit, and he went through it while going to charter school and stuff. I mean, he went through the whole Common Core math, Common Core this and that. He hated it.
Right.
He hated it big time.
I'm going to see if I can turn this real quick, Chris.
And I remember learning math, English, science. I mean, every general education from kindergarten to 12th grade. And yeah, it was tough, but we didn't have the Common Core crap that was pierced up by bureaucrats and fucking Bill Gates and shit. I mean,
where the hell did Common Core really need to come into play here? I mean,
1 + 1 is 2. You count it. 1 and 1 is 2. It doesn't make any sense to go, well, 1 + 1 is 2 because 1 and 1 is, equal number of themselves, and then you have to go outside and add all these other numbers to come up with another number.
It's BS whenever they're teaching the kids 8 + 5 equals 10 + 3 equals 13.
Right.
That's not cool. That'll screw a kid up, in my opinion.
That screwed me up. I was trying to teach my daughter that shit shortly before I moved from California. I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, no.
Exactly.
You know what? I was like, you learn that shit at school, but I'm going to teach you this way because this is the right way to learn. Because,
exactly.
That's just fucking people up. It doesn't make it any easier. It just makes it more roundaboutly difficult. It's retarded. I mean, we have a system of counting that we've been doing since the beginning of fucking time, pretty much. I mean, it's not... Since we've had a written language, we've had written numbers, and we've been able to put these numbers together in a mathematical format and, in a organized fashion. I would think that, what worked for us, back in the Roman Empire works for us now. I mean, it hasn't changed a whole lot since then. I mean, 1 + 1 is 2. It always has been.
And it's one of those things. It's like, I'm pretty sure you guys remember back in high school when we all went to fucking West Valley.
Yeah.
And everything, the changes that were being made there. We were constantly under threat of the state taking over the school.
I don't remember all that because I was only there for like half of the senior year at the end of the year. And that's because I moved from my magnet school in the high desert down to, the Hemet Valley area. But my thing is irregardless of that, dude, I was taking 5 math classes that year. Do you know that? I was taking 5 fucking math classes that year because my credits did not transfer from one school to another properly. So I had to take 5 fucking math classes, 5 periods of math.
That's insane.
I was taking bookkeeping. I was taking algebra 1, algebra 2. I was taking geometry, and I was taking math analysis at the same time. I was taking all those at the same time because my shit didn't transfer over properly. Then I had to take night class. I had to take 2 night classes. I had to take geography and what's that other one? Geography and what's the other one they pair together with geography?
World history.
World history, geography. I had to take both of those in night class because my shit didn't transfer over because I was in ROTC in the high desert and it didn't transfer over properly. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to get at is generally from school to school, a math class is a math class. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, unless you go to a specialty school like me. I went to a magnet school for performing arts. I've always been involved in that, dude, since, before me and you met, Robbie. It's been a long-ass time.
Yeah.
And you know that because, dude, I've been doing music since me and you met, since before me and you met.
Okay, Robbie, you brought up the threat of the government taking over the high school. You know a little bit more about that. You were a little more involved in a lot of those dynamics.
Why don't you go?
A little more?
Yeah, go in depth on that, dude. Because I don't even know what the hell that's about.
Who, me?
Yeah, no, your mama, nigga.
I wasn't sure who you guys are talking about. No, it was one of those things that's like...
You're the only one named Robbie here.
The teachers were constantly telling us that we were all too fucking stupid to get the shit that they were teaching, and if we didn't fucking get it, then the state was going to come over and take over the school and make things more difficult. So they added a shit ton of fucking pressure to the students, causing 90% of the students to fucking drop out. When I was there, I literally watched the senior class go from like 200 students in the class to fucking 36 graduating that year.
Right.
Yeah, that was a really tough year.
Well, there was a lot of stuff going on that year too. That was what, a year before me, or 2 years before?
It started like a year after I got there, and I was there for 4 years.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I wasn't even part of that graduating class. I just went over to Alessandro and said, "The hell with it."
Yeah, I dropped out my junior year, bro.
Same here. I went and got my GED. I'm like, fuck it, dude.
Dude, I had to take all those extra classes, and I still graduated that year.
Well, congratulations, bro.
For me, I went an extra year, man.
I went to job
school. I went an extra year.
Well, I know there was always the threat, with our high school in particular, Robbie, that the state of California was looking to cut funding to Southern California schools because they weren't meeting the standardized quotas.
Now, what constitutes more as child abuse, or as far as this goes, is it the state taking over the school, or is it the school itself? I mean, we can go into so much more dynamic depth into this whole subject being child abuse because the teachers are, stressing the children out, causing them to drop out and not finish their high school career. And, by saying things like what they said to you guys, Robbie, if you guys don't fucking shape up, this and that and the other, then, the state's going to come in and take it over and make it a lot harder for you. Well, that puts a lot of stress on a child, whether they're a teenager or an adult even, an adult would take that as a stressful situation too. It's almost like a threat. It's almost like a threat. It's like if you don't do this, then you're...
exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, at least Chris will remember this. I mean, I almost got fucking expelled because a teacher put his fucking hands on me because he thought I wasn't done with the fucking final.
Yeah.
And everything. And it was like, not only was it adding more pressure to the students, it was adding more pressure to the teachers, which in turn added more pressure on us.
Right. Because shit rolls downhill in a school setting.
Pressure because the teachers are under pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And then, on top of that, not only do they have added pressure, kids are snapping and assaulting the teachers.
Or the teachers are snapping and assaulting the children. You know, I mean, it goes both ways there. Stress levels get elevated. You know, I mean, we could even take this to the military context. You know, when I was in the military, I was in a unit that was high stress, high speed. Basically, it was faster pace. We got done with boot camp faster, but it was higher stress. It was higher speed, and that put a lot of stress on us. Put a lot of stress on the drill sergeant, causing a lot of suicides, a lot of people dropping out, going AWOL, a lot of people, you know. Basically being put under suicide watch, which put more stress on us because we were the ones that had to watch these people. You know, we were the fire guard for these people. You know, they had to wear an orange vest. We had to guard them, you know, make sure that we watched their every moves, weren't alone at any point in time ever, you know, stuff like that. Just little things like that, bro, that you know, cause higher stress levels. Just the pace could be higher stress, an elevation of stress, or you know, difficulty, which is why we have algebra 1 and 2 instead of just algebra as one class now. You know what I mean? So they're trying to make it easier on the students, but in retrospect, it's just making it more difficult because it's taking longer. And instead of trying to get everything wrapped up in 2 semesters of one math class, they're breaking it up into 2 years of one math class. And that's causing people not to be as advanced in their academics as we were when we were coming up, dude, because I don't know about you guys, but dude, when I was in school, dude, I took math analysis, I took trigonometry, I took, you know, advanced geometry, stuff like that when I was coming up, dude. Well, I mean, I know I have an advanced IQ in math, but you know, I mean, I graduated with my class and still was even ahead of my class, and it's because I was in a high-speed magnet school for performing arts, so the actual like basic learning stuff was essential to our curriculum, because if we didn't pull the grades, we weren't allowed to perform. If we didn't pull the grades, we didn't letter, you know, all that stuff. So I mean, that puts a lot of stress on a kid too. Puts a lot of stress on the teacher. I mean, it's just more bullshit that adds to more bullshit as time progresses on, because these people think that, you know, people can't handle the shit that we could handle back in the day, when in fact, it's the exact opposite. We should be able to handle more as time progresses, not less. And what he's doing is just dumbing us down.
Yeah, it's the dumbing down of society. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And what these schools primarily focus on is control, containment, and the pretty much teaching you to fall in line and follow blind orders. It's pretty much just training you to mindlessly obey the system. Mindlessly obey and do not question authority.
Which in turn is abuse in itself too, because then you're not giving the children a right to choose what they think is right for them or what they feel is needed for them. You know, and we keep kind of straying from the subject here as far as child abuse is concerned, because of the whole private school thing, and then the whole, you know, I mean, there's a lot of aspects that derive from this subject. I mean, it's a very broad subject, but when it comes down to it, what is more abusive? Causing a child to succeed in life, or causing a child to fuck up in life and not be as smart? And if society, not society, I would say just the state of California, because this is where it's coming from, right? The state of California is passing this law?
Yeah.
Okay, so the state of California is causing these children to be more, quote-unquote, entitled to choose their own level of learning, which is fine, but you should still be held to a standard, a certain standard of learning. Whether it takes you a little bit longer to learn it or not, you should still be held to that same standard by the time you graduate or by the time you get your diploma, which is why, like you, Grandmaster Reverend, you had to go an extra year to school to learn what you had to learn. You know what I mean? You had to become to a certain level of standard, and that's fine. You're just as smart as I am. You know what I'm saying? You know everything that I know as far as high school is concerned. We both know the same shit. You know, and that goes for you too, Robbie. I mean, and you too, Chris. We have the whole difference in me getting a diploma and you guys getting a GED. You guys still know the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a correction, I got my high school diploma in dog work.
Oh well,
Did
you
did-
get what I'm
did-
saying.
did-
You
did-
got
did-
it later
did-
though,
did-
which
did-
is
did-
essentially a GED. What?
Yeah, I kind of fucking bounced out because I was switching between good and great internet connection.
What are you watching, Grandmaster Evan?
He's talking to somebody else.
No, it's okay. It's cool, dude. He's been bounced off of bad and good. What was it? Bad and good
Oh.
condition, dude.
Oh, you got 0 on the line. Yeah. Well, I mean, sounds like a fucking low-grade police scanner from down the street.
Right.
The wind blew for a moment.
Have you tried dialing in here? Try dial in here to the group again. Did he kick you?
I can re-add him if he wants me to.
Yeah, try to re-add him.
Yeah.
Tell him to hang up and we'll re-add him.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Tim's going to try to bring you in.
Let me know when we got the all clear.
Is he up? Yeah, okay. Go for it.
Raining. See if he joins. There's like a lot of variables going to public school. I mean, there's a huge threat threshold there regarding public school alone. I mean, you have the misconduct from teachers. We have issues student on student. I mean, Robbie, you remember this. There was a lot of hostility between students and cliques. A lot of hostility. I mean, we couldn't even walk home without seeing somebody getting jumped into a gang or a freaking gang confrontation.
Fucking Mark Garner getting jumped by a couple Mexicans on the way home.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Or people getting jumped into a fucking gang. I mean, shit. That whole fucking high school is fucking gated off now like a fucking prison.
That is because the state finally took over after we left.
Yeah. I mean, shit. We had that fucking prep gang war shit that started over somebody throwing a fucking apple.
Oh, shit.
I mean, fucking so many people, so many fights, dude. So many fucking problems over fucking stupid shit. And you look back
You
at
know,
it now.
it also brings back the memory of you tripping the fuck out. Because I would sit there and look at you and be like, there's going to be a fight today. And sure enough, at some point that day, there was a fight.
Yep. And we were just caught, and people like us were caught smack down in the middle of it because we didn't fucking fit into any real social cliques, you know. We had friends here and there, and we really didn't fit in anywhere, so we just kind of got caught in everybody's crosshairs.
Yep.
You know, and there's people like that today. You know, it's
Absolutely.
it's
There's more people today that are in that category than there was back when we were in school. Because I mean, it literally boils down to the way they're raised.
When I was in school, there was at least a brawl every day during the lunch, and I mean, a lot of students got into it, games and shit, all the black games, the Hispanic games. I mean, it got pretty bad during lunch.
Yeah.
Almost every day when I was in school.
Yeah.
And
same with me and Robbie.
You had knives being smuggled in. You had drug sales on campus. I mean, a lot of fucking crazy shit. I mean, it was. I mean, fuck.
What kind of drugs?
Well, I'll put it to you like this.
Go for
I
it,
mean, as far as weed was involved in, I mean, we wasn't too bad, but I mean, there's a lot of being sold on campus and shit.
I'll put it to you like this.
It got pretty bad that, you know, there was They added cops on the schools and shit. They added security. I mean,
Yeah, we had that.
it felt like
Narcs.
Folsom High School, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to give you an idea of how bad it got when me and Chris were there, I'm pretty sure he remembers this. There was like 2 or 3 riots that broke out during the lunch period and before the lunch period over a week span, to where they had to literally bring riot police to the school to monitor the students.
Yep. Yeah, they were there for what? A month and a half? Just fucking
Yeah,
on
for
standby.
like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks, and then they were on standby for like another month.
Hey,
They had them on
Goodman.
standby for over a year, bro.
Really?
Yeah, that's coming from Mr. Martell.
No shit.
Hey, Goodman.
Yo.
Jen wants to join the round table.
She does or she doesn't?
She does. She just has to join.
She does. She wants to join the round table.
All right. We'll bring her in.
Okay, let me see if I can try
It's
her.
no longer a sausage fest, man.
Boobies.
There is a vagina coming.
She wants to come
Maybe at some point.
See here.
I added her.
Yeah, we rang her just now.
It's ringing her.
She says it's in call. Says she's here, which means she's in call.
Yeah, it's ringing her.
Oh, it's ringing. It shows you connected, yeah. Here, what? I mean, I know what's going on with Connor. I mean, have we been able to get in touch with him?
No, he's still MIA. In fact, let's just ring him too. Let's see what's up.
Just see if he answers. Ironically, just out of nowhere.
Ring.
That pops in.
And there goes Grandmaster Revan. It's just us again, Robbie.
Just like it always
Looks like
was
it
back in
happened
the
for
day.
the last one standing.
Yep, as always.
Hey,
Smoking a cigarette. Just chilling.
you're like, well, that was an interesting day. Oh man, the interesting days we had. Oh my goodness.
I remember there was the one fight that involved me where I got suspended for like 3 weeks because of the fact that they actually, it was when me and Chris, we had separate lunch periods. And it was me and this Mexican dude were beefing like for like, I'd say 3 or 4 months. And finally we decided to scrap it out. And whenever we finally got there, like the entire lunch period knew about it, moved all the fucking tables under that fucking awning because it was before they bolted them down.
Yeah.
They made it into an octagon shape, and everybody fucking stood up on the motherfuckers so the security couldn't get to us.
Nice.
Yeah, I
It
remember
took
that.
them a good 15 minutes. It took them a good 15 minutes to finally get to us. And it's like me and him were all beaten and bloody by the time they got to us.
I remember that day. And I remember the look on your mom's face too. She just kind of rolled her eyes, like, "Fucking guys."
Well, my mom knew that I don't play around.
Yeah, that's why she just kind of rolled her eyes, like, "Yeah."
You remember those? Okay, I don't know. You kind of weren't in school when me and Chris were still there. I mean, you had already dropped out and just decided not to go. But maybe Chris remembers these guys. These guys, I was playing a guitar and they came up and threw change in my guitar. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Me and that big ass football motherfucker, dude. I ended up finding that nigga in the bathroom, dog, and like straight up, dude. I just went in there, I looked at him, I took a piss. I turned around and him and 2 of his buddies were standing right there, and he was like, so what are you gonna talk shit now? And you know, because I had told him, I said, fuck you. I took the guitar and shook the fucking change out in front of him. I said, fuck you. You know what I mean? You fucking asshole, like whatever. And then saw him in the fucking bathroom like the next day or day after at the end of the day. And he said, so what, you going to talk shit now and say fuck you to me to my face? I said, yeah, fuck you. and him and his boys started towards me. I said, "Oh, real big men right there. You guys got to get like 2 motherfuckers to get on my ass." You know what I mean? And he goes, "No, no, no. Me and you are gonna do this just by ourselves." I said, "All right, cool. What's up then?" Me and him fucking duked it out, dog. Right there in the fucking bathroom, and that fool got suspended, and I didn't have anything done to me. Like, it was cool. I just got to do whatever I wanted to do after that. Like, it was no problem for me.
Yeah.
Because they were having fucking problems with that guy.
Well, it's like, I remember fucking, like, I'm pretty sure he remembers it too. It's like, I don't know how many fucking times where I got into a physical altercation with somebody and they fucking slapped me on the wrist and sent me on my way and sent me home.
Yep.
You know?
It's because us, dude, we don't fight unless we absolutely have to, unless we're forced to. I was pushed against the wall, you know what I mean, for lack of better terms, but I was literally pushed to fight that day, and I mean that's why I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, well, me and Robbie, we had quite the reputation. Like, Robbie, nobody wanted to really fuck with Robbie. I mean, the guy was a big motherfucker. Zero tolerance on bullshit. And they knew that he would and could go the distance when the time fucking called for it. Me, they knew I was batshit fucking crazy. I fucking drove a pen right through a kid's fucking hand freshman year. That's my fucking nickname back in the day. You remember that shit, Robbie? Or fucking Jessica and shit. And ever since then, he remembers.
Things that make you go brrr.
Yeah.
Things that make me wish I could gouge my fucking eyes out. Why the fuck did I date that bitch?
Well, even if you could gouge your eyes out, bro, you still couldn't get rid of the memories. You'd still be able to see that shit, unfortunately. It's things that you wish you could forget more.
Yeah. Well, I never even fucking dated her. It was just, fucking stupid bullshit. Fucking shit-talking bitches.
Here, and now that we've done enough of this fucking bullshit talking, let's try to get those peeps back in so we can continue.
I'm trying to get them back in, dude. I'm trying to get them back in. Can't help it if they don't fucking answer.
Here, why don't I hang up and then you try calling the group again?
No, it won't matter. If they don't answer, they don't answer. That's just on them.
Yeah, it's not a problem with the system. It's a problem with them not coming in or on their end. Because you're here.
And there's Genevieve. Like, Robbie, you remember, the reputation that we got. I mean, the school feared us so much that we got called in on a fucking bomb threat that we didn't even make.
See, here we are. Everybody answered. I was there for the bomb threat.
No, this was.
Oh, that was a separate bomb threat then.
You think you had a wolf in here?
No,
we called him. It's on him if he doesn't answer.
Yeah. No, you were there for the bread bomb. You were there for the bread bomb.
I was there for a bomb threat too. We got evacuated into the field in the back.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. I had nothing to do with that one.
No, the one he's talking about is somebody had called in a bomb threat at West Valley.
Right.
And me and him were sitting there talking about the fact that it had happened.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, it was what's her face? What's her fucking name, dude?
Laura.
Who?
Laura, yeah. She heard us talking about it and
Laura?
went to the fucking principal and said that we were the one that fucking made the threat.
Ah!
I remember hearing about that when I went to West Valley. I heard about something like that.
Yep.
What about what of West Valley? What?
Your mama, nigga.
Oh, our high school.
I know. I went to West
Yeah,
Valley.
she went to West Valley too.
Yeah, the bomb threats.
Oh. Remember, yes.
Bomb threats and other things.
Bomb threats and bread bongs.
Yes.
I
I
remember
know Jenna remembers the
What
bread
about the
bomb.
stink bombs that used to go off?
I had a lot to do with that when I was there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Chris,
Uh-uh.
do you remember whenever
Get out
we
of
got
here,
called
little
into
boy.
Mr. Sue's office
You get out of my room.
over that fucking bomb threat?
Oh,
And how he literally stood up and got behind his chair because he saw the look on my face and how angry I was.
I remember.
Is this supposed to be cursing here?
I think it is.
I personally just think it's funny because these people were so fucking
What
stupid.
was
It's
the
like, hey, you
principal's
can't
name that
fucking
all the
talk
girls had a
about the
crush
issue
on?
without being accused of it.
What did those hoes have a crush on?
Well, no, there
This
was
is very
a
true.
Okay.
principal. There was a male principal at West Valley when I went there. I think he was like a doctor of some sort, and all the chicks they always swooned every time he walked by.
That must have been way after I went there.
Like,
Yeah.
well, a lot of my female friends were like, oh my gosh, isn't he so cute? I'm like, hell no, he's ugly.
You're like,
I
he's
was like,
like
what's wrong
older
with
than my
you?
grandpa. You're like, what makes
Well,
that
no,
attractive? Why is that attractive?
he's young.
Play on the freeway, little boy.
But he's still, I mean, he was
No,
still,
make you play on the freeway.
Okay.
he was still ugly.
Well, the whole premise.
Now, why you gotta waste wine like that?
Huh? Huh?
That totally was.
That was
I mean,
random.
You guys are having a separate conversation in your heads. Please, sir. Go forward.
7-year-old boy need not more to explain.
And wine.
Seriously.
Now, why is wine and a 7-year-old boy in the same context?
In the same sentence.
He told me he wanted to throw wine on the freeway.
And the
That's
gang's
why you gotta
all
waste
here.
wine
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, no. Party foul. Party foul. You can't. No. Alcohol
See,
abuse.
Oh
you
yeah,
all
we
would
did
love
plenty of
my
alcohol
son
abuse
because
in high school too.
What's that,
you all
Jen?
would love my son. You all would love my son because my son can down a screwdriver like there's no tomorrow.
My son downs beer. My youngest, my 2-year-old. He comes, if I leave my beer sitting around, he'll come up and he'll chug my fucking beer.
Oh wow.
And then pass out
Well, it
on the
looks like
couch.
apple juice. It looks like apple juice.
No, I'm saying like I'll leave a bottle of beer like this on the table and he'll grab it.
Oh. My son, he when he first tried red wine, he thought my dad gave him a sip of red wine.
Your
And
mother is my sister. How am I not related to?
my son thought it was grape juice. He took a sip of it and, oh. And then he saw my screwdriver sitting next to the couch, and he goes, "Ooh, juice." I was like, "No, not juice, mommy juice." He goes, "My juice." I was like, "Mommy's juice." And I went to go to the bathroom, and I come out, and my screwdriver's gone.
Yes.
I've done that a couple times, but only it was my hammer.
I want to ship this kid to the moon.
Actually, I'll put you in a rocket. No,
I'll pay for the rocket.
for you.
And now he's telling me he wants to put me in the rocket. At least I would have some damn privacy. And some peace and quiet, too.
Right?
That's why I don't have kids.
I think I'd rather deal with the poop that he's talking about.
Oh boy.
Initially, we were talking about
that come out of
homeschooling
little boys'
versus
mouth.
public school.
Right?
The state of California is trying to pass legislation that would label parents who homeschool their kids
Homosexuals.
as potential child abusers.
Hey, where's...
What?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the topic for discussion
Yeah,
tonight.
we've had a nice long conversation
Hey,
about
your
this.
mother's here. You should be up
Be
your
right
mother's
back,
butt.
That's a cop-out to try to end homeschooling. That's all it is.
I don't blame her. I'd be in the car right
I
now.
agree with that 100%, and I think that it's more a money
Because
thing.
kids that are homeschooled have a better chance in college, a better opportunity of getting a good job,
Right.
well
You're
educated,
better at running that mouth than you are running.
and they have a better chance of getting a good job.
Man, I've seen chicks talk more than this little boy, and he's talking more than a chick.
You know, duct tape is awesome to use.
Or
It doesn't
NyQuil.
hurt that much.
NyQuil is
My
better.
son went to church school.
No, NyQuil is better because it's untraceable within 24 hours. Use NyQuil.
Or Benadryl.
Yeah, Benadryl's even better because you can't OD on that shit and it just puts you right out.
Yep.
That would knock you on your ass for a whole night, and you will wake up the next
Why?
morning. I've been there, done that.
I'm half tempted to bring Bird into this conversation just for the fun of it.
Oh God.
Let's do it.
I don't think he'll answer, but if he does, this would be a good roundtable. This would be like almost everybody.
Does Bird have Wi-Fi yet?
I don't know. He can fucking do it on his phone. Maybe he fucking makes as much money as I do. He better be able to get Wi-Fi.
I know, right?
But then again, the guy has to buy a new phone every fucking week because he's a dumb shit. Either breaks it or loses it.
Or his kid throws it in the toilet, or
82 years old.
talk about parental supervision lacking thereof.
Is that little boy is your nephew telling you to kill yourself?
No, he's the weird things are coming out of his head, and I want to shoot myself because of the things that are coming out of his mouth.
He sounds like he's tired.
He's something, and I want to
Use a pillow. It's silent. Use a pillow. It's silent.
Shouldn't he be in bed? I mean, doesn't he have school in the morning?
It's like almost 8 o'clock out here.
Yeah, I know. Shouldn't he still be in bed?
Are you guys? Hold on, wait. Are you in California still?
Yes, I'm in California. So
That's why it's only 8 there. It's almost 10 here.
I'm out by Disneyland.
Oh, lucky.
And what?
Yeah, we're only 8 hours from Disney World.
Shit. No, because a headache from your son.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta get my jet out here.
I felt was a headache.
Then go to Disney World. That's gonna be a vacation in itself, dude. Fucking God, because.
Timon, are you smoking again?
You were caught.
Go with your mother. Beat up her butt, not mine.
Timon, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Ooh.
You may be older than me, but I'm gonna beat your ass if you're smoking a cigarette.
I am.
I am working hard as hell to quit because everyone was telling me to quit, and here you are starting up again. I'm gonna beat you.
It was either
No, I
that
definitely
or
don't
homicide.
know which one's
And
worse.
I don't mean that as a euphemism. I literally mean I was on the verge of fucking knifing somebody.
Okay, so Robbie's camera's off. That means he's either masturbating or taking a shit.
God only knows, and that's the part I don't want to know.
You notice his camera came.
It came right back on. He's like, I'm not doing either one, assholes.
Okay, so Robbie, I was asking you.
I was masturbating while taking a shit. Get it right, bro.
So you like things being pulled out of your ass while you're feeling good?
Oh boy.
Is that what I'm getting?
It depends on the circumstance.
So do you just rip the anal beads out? Or are you just fucking savage with it, or you just let them pop out one at a time, real slowly?
And the winning lotto numbers are.
No, I'm going to put up. Oh, I really wanted to get up.
Talking about anal beads and she wants to get up. You're probably better sitting down. You're probably safer. We know the content of.
I wish for that rocket.
Yeah, we know how much you want a rocket.
Red rocket.
Dog dick.
You just need about 50 3-liter bottles of cola and about 10 packages of Mentos, and you're good.
I'll take the Jack Daniels.
Yeah, and swallow the Mentos whole.
No.
I ain't doing that shit. I'm not a snake. I don't need to do that.
A snake.
Talk about choking history.
Choking history.
What kind of shit are you into?
Wait, what the hell? Wait, how did we go from school to snake and choking history?
Hi, everybody.
The correlation just does not make sense.
I have tried that Mentos thing, was swallowing Mentos whole and then drinking cola, and it does not work. It does not.
You gotta drop the Mentos in after.
I may be a disabled, but I'm not stupid.
So
especially all those
Chris
videos that keep popping up about stupid people taking the challenges.
Chris is both.
Hey, I am anything but stupid. Then again, maybe I am. I'll let you move in with me.
Ha 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 ha!
Yeah.
Very funny, motherfucker. My mouth was open. My mouth was open.
Did something else say about ho ho hos?
Hey, where's the cream filling?
Here, let me show you.
No.
I can't finish my
Open your
joke.
mouth and close your eyes. Here comes the big surprise.
Okay, so
No, there's a reason
topic
why
of discussion.
kids are
We're kind of getting
called ho-ho-hos.
off track here, guys. Topic of discussion for tonight has been is homeschooling your kids child abuse as opposed to just sending them to like public school, and why?
Okay, I would rather my son be homeschooled.
Do you ever shut up?
Simply because of the fact that nowadays in schools, kids find of all ages, they find different ways to get drugs and alcohol and all different kinds of things into the school.
Well, that's no different than when we were coming up, but okay.
Yeah. How many times did we get drunk in the parking lot, Robbie?
Yeah, but the earliest that it started was for me was my 8th grade year in middle school. That was the earliest that it started.
Right?
Nowadays,
when you can't find your little stand.
Nowadays,
Darling, I was drinking Jack Daniels when I was in high school.
I started in middle school at 8th grade.
Doing the fun stuff.
But
I was drinking Jack
the hard shit
Daniels
on
with my
high school.
teachers in the 7th and 9th grade.
You were doing what?
Jack Daniels, Crazy Horse.
In the quad.
But I would rather my son be homeschooled, not only because of that stuff, but also because of the fact that there's
Testing,
so
1, 2,
much...
3. Am I still alive?
Yes,
Yes,
you
sir.
are. I finally hear you.
Apparently you're alive because you're talking.
But I'd rather my son be homeschooled because there's so much bullying in public schools that it is ridiculous.
I don't think you want your son to lose his virginity to a school teacher.
I don't want my son to lose his virginity to a pedophilic teacher. They don't do background checks.
I don't know which one is worse.
They do in
getting
California.
bullied by
They
your
do
peers or
background
getting
checks in
bullied by your
California.
adult parents?
Not out this way. They don't. I don't think they do out here.
I don't know. I know that the curriculum is much stricter out here. Like they have
it
a much
is.
higher standard in their curriculum out here.
Which is insane because people are much stupider and slower out here.
I seriously think it has something to do with it. I drink a lot of that.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. My son is a very smart little boy for his age. Like, the only thing that he's struggling with is, as far as academics go, is reading and spelling. That is it. That's the only 2 problems that he has.
So everything they teach you in English. Gotcha.
I teach him English. It's just he doesn't pay attention to it. He won't sit still long enough for me to teach him how to read and spell. He can spell his name. That's as far as I've gotten so far.
Look at that.
Maybe start reading things that would interest him. You know, like maybe get some Goosebump books or something. You know, maybe that might be some fun for him.
Tin Man, the things that interest my son are enough to make an adult have nightmares.
Such as?
Oh, is that what the kids are into these days?
Oh, no, just mine. Mine is into Edgar Allan Poe, Stephen King.
Hated Edgar Allan Poe.
Jack the Ripper.
Well, he gets it.
I just skipped that class when they did him.
Well, my son gets the love for Edgar Allan Poe from me.
I gave myself
read those books with him. Pick up some of those books and read with him.
I love Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, read with
I love Poe.
Me too.
But
Edgar Allan Poe is not too bad of a book. Edgar Allan Poe is worth to read, like Mark Twain and Wayne.
My son doesn't like Mark Twain. I've tried reading Alice in Wonderland to him. He doesn't like it. He thinks it's boring.
Maybe you should watch the Disney version.
Yeah, right. No, thank you. I've tried reading The Hobbit to him, and he just doesn't like it. He likes horror.
Goosebumps.
Give him what he wants. Go
Sounds like my kind of too.
Kids will go through phases, but the phase won't last long until when they're older. Then they'll pick up that phase again later on.
My son begs me to watch the show Supernatural and NCIS.
Nice.
He begs for those.
I love that supernatural show. It's like my people.
He begs me to watch NCIS, Supernatural, Stranger Things, anything that's sci-fi or horror. He begs me to watch.
Next, you'd be like, "Mommy, can you put on a porno for me?"
There could be a chance of an interest in something. You know, I mean, kids at the age will pick up something, and they'll have a like for a pretty big interest in it.
Well,
all kids do that. All kids do that. They will have an interest in it, and sometimes they'll be in and out of that phase, and they'll go to something else, and then they'll go to something else, and then.
Patrick, stop that! My son has been liking horror and sci-fi ever since he started watching TV. Like, I put on Fantasia, the old Fantasia for him. And ever since
Did you say the old Fantasia porno?
If there's a Fantasia porno, I want to see that shit.
No,
Fucking to the Nutcracker.
Well, considering the stuff that they're finding in Disney movies now, I'm kind of scared by it.
Now that I'm an adult, I understand so much more of the Disney movies. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was actually watching some of that shit earlier today.
Anyways, but my son, he went from wanting to be a astronaut to wanting to be a police officer, then to a firefighter, and now he wants to be a ghost hunter like Sam and Dean. He wants to be a hunter like that.
Next week he wants to be a serial killer.
Jack the
Does
Ripper.
not.
Ghostbusters.
He loves Ghostbusters. He really does. He absolutely adores them.
The original or the shitty ass remake?
The original.
Thank God.
He even likes the cartoon version.
Hey, the cartoon was the shit.
It was, right?
I've got the entire original 7 seasons.
Well, now my son's starting to get into the show Freakazoid.
They had 2 versions of cartoons.
And Animaniacs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting until he wants to start watching Ren and Stimpy. Once he sees them, I can kiss my innocent child goodbye.
Who's pitching and who's catching, Stimpy? You're pitching and I'm catching, Ren.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that show was not for kids. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if it was on Nickelodeon or not. That show was not for kids.
Right? And also my son, he does not like the heroes in movies. He likes the villains.
Sweet.
Right?
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean...
Well, okay. Like in the movie Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, he doesn't like Krista or Pip or Zach. He likes Hexus.
Oh, so do I. That was my thing too when I was coming up. I
well, really who doesn't love Tim Curry?
Right?
Right?
They all float down here.
No,
the only guy who can make
whoever said that.
The only guy who can make Pennywise look good.
Whoever said what?
Whoever started quoting Pennywise, I will kill you if you do it again.
No, I said Tim Curry is the only guy that can make Pennywise look good.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. That's
I mean,
true.
the
But
remake was good. Do not get me wrong. It was gory. It was in depth.
It was
really...
horse shit. What are you talking about?
Pennywise's
It was horse shit. The new
Pennywise's
horse
performance was horse shit, but the story.
No,
was good.
Pennywise in the old movie was great. Tim Curry was great. This new Pennywise was horse shit.
Like I said, Pennywise in the new movie was shit.
Okay, so
The movie-
it's a story about a clown who is a murderer, a supernatural murderer, and the main character, who is the shitty actor, made the movie shitty. I mean,
Well, here's the thing.
Can't get
What
past
I
that.
liked is that Pennywise actually tried to kill the kids. In the original, like, let's take the shower scene where Pennywise pops out of the fucking storm drain and fucking shows his teeth and whatnot. It's like, what the fuck happens there? You know, it fucking cuts to a new scene. Like, what the fuck happens? You have the kid at your fucking mercy. You can eat it right there, and then you do nothing with it. What fucking Pennywise just fucking closed his mouth and popped down the drain like fucking Mario? Bloop, bloop, bloop. And just sit there and stare at him a while, then go bloop, bloop, bloop.
not.
All right, who's playing the elevator
My
music?
son. I don't know.
Elevator music.
What the hell? No, man.
Hey, you know what? I would rather hear the music than hear those freaking voices that we heard on the last video I was in.
That was him. That was
Grandmaster Revan.
We have to do that last
we
night.
found that out yesterday.
We caught him in the act.
Dude, Grandmaster, I swear I will. Don't ever do that to me again.
I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
Well, consider I know.
It's the narrator on my computer, dude.
You want to fax me?
It has a very psychological problem. It has that cyber poly bullshit.
So out of nowhere, it starts saying, "I'm sorry," and yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry, I'm here. Sometimes.
Please
Hey,
tell me
do
you
it
turned
now.
that narration thing on your computer off.
I've been trying to, and
He doesn't deliver.
Yeah.
Certain of it. I think
it happened. It happened when I downloaded Windows 10.
Grandmaster, I'm telling you this right now, that shit freaked me out so bad I couldn't sleep for 2 nights straight.
Well, I do apologize for that.
Yeah, the devil took over our conversation last night.
It's a narrator. It's a narrator.
Okay, so in that case,
It never really did that until I mean it was normal. I mean, it was normal, but it wasn't. It never sounded more like that before.
okay, well, for scaring me like that, whether it was on accident or not, you owe me a dinner at Outback Steakhouse, okay?
Hell yeah.
Oh no, she's getting expensive now.
Oh yeah. Hey, she's got fine taste.
2 nights?
Just take her decision and she'll be happy.
No, I want Outback. I want to be able to eat peanuts while I wait for the table.
Here,
And put all the shells on the floor.
listen, bro. Listen.
Yes, I
She said
do.
she's gonna go out with you. Okay, that's what matters.
A dinner for happy ending.
How about you take me?
Hey,
How
you
about
gonna
you
talk
take
to
me
me
out
that
to
way?
dinner
You better pull my
for
hair
making
first.
up for.
Oh wait.
How about you take me out to dinner and that makes up for the 2 nights of lost sleep that I got? How's that?
I thought she was gonna say something.
Fair enough.
Because I can't get that back.
You can't get the sex back either, but let's not go there.
Fair enough.
And then after that, you know, maybe a second date will ensue, and there we go.
A second date, huh? Already talking about the future. Look at this. How many kids you guys gonna have together?
Getting a tuggy.
Oh, we lost Jenna. Thank God.
Grandmaster, how's your girlfriend doing, anyways?
I'm doing good. We went on a date at a Japanese restaurant.
Woo.
2 weeks ago.
Please
It
tell
was
me
my
she's
first-
okay with. Please tell me she's okay with eating sushi.
I had sushi. It was a one of those on a narrow plate, little dish, and had like different mackerel, some kind of egg, and it was pretty good. It was really, really good. I had she had the udon noodles. I had the teriyaki chicken. It was pretty good.
And later
And
that night, you gave her cream of some old guy.
it was, the place was called Kumi.
That was a delayed reaction
It was-
from Robbie.
All I know is it said, "Bro, what the fuck?" And I'm like,
No,
Oh.
after the date, he gave her cream of some old guy.
No, we're taking it one day at a time.
He gave her the
Yeah,
shitty
it's-
poop
it's-
glass.
It's more a thing to do.
No, he didn't take her to
That is the
Wendy's.
best way to go. Women respect men that can, take it one day at a time. It's a lot. You get laid a lot faster. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, like when we first hooked up, freaking had to beat
Robbie.
you up with a stick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Robbie, I've been giving away all women's secrets.
Hey.
"Oh, what secrets might that be?"
Well, what ones do you want to know?
What are you willing to give me?
Anything. Ask me any question about women's secrets, and I'll tell you.
Oh, this is an interesting turn of conversations.
Let me get back to you on that. I'm gonna have to think about it.
Okay, here's
Why?
one.
I'm sure you got tons of questions.
Okay,
Ask.
I got one. Why is it?
Okay.
Why is it so many women insist on beating around the bush and dropping subtle hints rather than being direct, knowing full well that we
Yeah,
don't get the hint?
that's a good one.
Knowing full well that we will not get the hint.
Because they want to know that you're listening.
We can
But
listen
most
all
of
we
them
want, but we
don't
don't,
say
doesn't mean we're
nothing.
gonna get the hint. And we never
We
get
want
the
you
hint,
to
and you know
listen.
this.
We want you to listen and pay attention. Watch what we're doing.
And we do, and we still don't get it.
That's your guys'
I'll
fault,
put it
not
to you
ours.
like this. Okay, I'll put it to
Yeah,
you like
but you
this. This
know
is
we
gonna
don't
be
get
something
it, so
very
why do you
fucking
keep
vulgar.
doing it?
But okay, for instance, you're out on a date with a girl. She's sitting there chewing on a fucking straw. All right. The first
say
thing that
she's
comes to
chewing
my
on a
mouth is
fucking
my
straw?
mind is a fucking chick's got an oral fixation. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there. I'm trying to drop subtle hints, and I want the girl to suck my dick, and she doesn't go for it. In fact, she slaps me in the face for even insinuating it, but yet she's making it seem like she wants to.
That's not always the case. Some women, like myself, what I'll do is if I have a drink or something like that, yes, I'll chew on the straw, but it's because I'm thinking.
But you expect us dudes to know that. And it's like, you want us to fucking catch on to subtle hints. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to take that as a hint.
Okay, well, here's the question. Here's specifics. In that scenario, is the woman staring at you, eye to eye? Then yes, she wants it, and she doesn't want to come out straight and say it. She didn't want you to say it in public. She wants you to offer to take her home, and then you can go from there.
Well, yeah. Of course, I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, you want to suck my dick in front of a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, Loki!
Don't drop any hints. Don't drop any hints about that. Just what you do is you stay being a gentleman. Don't mention anything about any kind of sex or anything like that. You just keep on a subject that's not even related to it. And what you do is you wait for her
To
to
suck your
get
dick.
so fed up with waiting for you that she just says it outright.
Yeah, basically you wait for her to pull your pants down first. Smokey!
Yep. That is exactly it. You don't ever insinuate it. Don't drop hints about it. Wait for her to do it.
Jenna says to bring her back.
No.
He said no.
I'm fine with that. She really doesn't contribute much. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean to her, but after the sauce thing, yeah, I'm not too apt.
Someone do it.
But okay, so what's another thing that you guys want to know?
We want to know the secrets of the women.
Okay, which ones do you want to know?
Smokey!
Why don't you start listing them off?
Okay, how about...
First is saying someone hit the ring all button. Tin Man asked if you farted.
No, the power would go out.
Anyways, okay, let's see. One of the many secrets that men always want to know is why doesn't a woman why doesn't men have this weird thought that women don't think about sex as much as they do. I can tell you this right now. We think about it. We think about it 10 times more than you guys do.
That's a shitload, because I know the fucking sex is on my mind constantly.
And I know that's a lot because I've masturbated like 6 times just since we've done this roundtable. So,
and I'll tell you this right now. Honestly, women, they will have mentally masturbated about 100 times a day.
okay, I have a question for you. How do you mentally masturbate? Because that is something I want to try.
Okay. What I do is I think of
just like this. Look, Mom, no hand.
I'm asleep.
No.
You motherfucker!
Yeah, now the boys are gonna bust up. Okay.
Mono.
Do you guys want to know the answer or not?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we want to know, but that comment was fucking hilarious.
Okay, so personally, what I do when I do that is I have a writer's mind. Okay, I will think of a celebrity or a guy or whatever. I'll think of a scenario in my head, and I will play it out like a movie in my mind, and I will get satisfaction from it without touching myself at all.
What? Seems
Are
kind
you
of
like
lame.
sitting down grinding? You're posting on something?
Nope.
No. Do you have a legitimate
She's
orgasm?
getting mental stimulation because some dude is playing with her clit in her mind.
She sat there and rubbed her legs together because they was crossed. So she just got gooshy and had a good time. So she had like 1/10 of an orgasm, thinking she actually had an orgasm.
No, what it is we end up thinking about a lot more detail, and we can visualize it better than men can. Not all men, obviously, not all men, but we can visualize it better than most men. And the visuals that we get in our minds are enough to satisfy us.
Okay, what kind of visuals do you get? Elaborate.
For me personally?
Yeah.
Okay, for me personally, I'll have a scenario in my head where I'll have my boyfriend come home early from work, and my son's at school, and he will end up, I'll be in the kitchen doing dishes or cooking or something like that, and he'll come up behind me, start kissing my neck, and just go to town right there on either the sink or the stove.
But I tried that and you beat the hell out of me. I
was on a timeline for one to feed your asses. And 2, you know how grumpy your sister got if she didn't eat on time?
What's that got to do with my sex life?
Abracadabra. Poof, it's gone.
And I took care of you about 3 times that night, didn't I?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So shut up.
You know that's a freaking statistical impossibility.
For you to shut up. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not just an impossibility. It is just that's an oxymoron.
So yeah, being a bootlegging pirate is awesome.
What?
Being a bootlegging pirate is awesome.
Okay, so what other secrets do you guys want to know?
Here's one. Like, what do you generally think about during sex? When you're actually having sex?
Oh gosh, we can think about anything from the stuff that we didn't do during the day, work, our children and what they need to be eating tomorrow, the next day for lunch. It's a whole range of things.
Audi 5000, niggas.
Well, like, what are the things you think about during sex that get you off?
She just said it.
Pussy liquor. That's what she thinks about. Pussy liquor. That's exactly what they think about. Pussy liquor. That's all they think about. Pussy liquor.
We represent the lollipop gang.
Sometimes we'll actually think about, and don't take this offensively, guys, but we'll actually think about our dream celebrity.
Captain
Is she
Jack
talking
Sparrow.
or is she just like lipping some words? Because I can't hear a damn thing she's trying to say.
Who, Genevieve?
Okay,
all I see is Jenna doing this.
So basically, Jenna is trying to say, if you can hear me and not her, because I can apparently hear her. She's saying, she's thinking about, is it done yet? Because I don't feel anything because I got shit to do. That's what she's saying.
So basically, you're thinking about taking a shit. Is this over yet? I need to go squat over my potty.
Why did I get myself into it?
Is this done yet? I need a squatty potty.
Oh, she's got a McFlurry. That's another thing that we think about. Some of the times women will think about our favorite food.
Your favorite food?
What?
Yeah.
You're
We'll
like,
think about our
you're like,
favorite
yes, this
food.
dick is in my vagina, but I really want some chicken nuggets.
Oh, I know a woman's favorite food. I got a woman's favorite food right here. Chocolate.
This dick is in my vagina, but I really want some chicken nuggets and some sweet and sour sauce.
No, my main thing that I think about when I don't really have anything else to think about is I'll think about chocolate covered strawberries
and pepperoni.
And pepperoni.
No,
Pepperoni and cheese sticks.
No, just chocolate covered strawberries.
Well, that's an aphrodisiac in its own right. So
Exactly.
But how does the thought of food get you off? That's what I want to know. That's just bizarre.
Because women, we have a very large memory for tastes and smells. And like if we don't like the taste of a guy when we swallow, we won't do it again.
Okay.
I can hear you. I don't know if anybody else can.
No, we all heard that. We were just speechless.
What can we say?
You're like, wait a minute, I think I need to eat more Skittles.
And also like for women, if we think about our favorite food, or like a food that we find better tasting than anything in the world to us, then that right there, when we tasted it for the first time, it creates
Like
a
pepperoni.
depends on who the woman is, but it'll create an imprint in our minds, in our brains, that when we tasted it, we have like an orgasmic feeling when we first taste it, and it's like the best thing ever. That's how it helps us get off.
I'm having a mouthgasm right now as we speak.
Exactly. That's exactly what happens for women. Is like we will remember that, and that'll get us off.
Do I even want to know about some of the things you thought about while having sex with me?
Actually, I just thought about you.
Is this over yet?
Say that again?
I just thought about you, but...
Really? I feel happy now.
She's
lying.
She's like,
Genevieve, we must have an oral fixation with Skeletor, because that's a skinny motherfucker right there.
I did.
Damn.
Well,
I got the job done, though.
Look at a lot of the guys that I've dated. I've dated tall, skinny guys.
Well, I guess that rules me out. I'm short and fat.
I'm tall and fat.
Yeah, you got one of the attributes. You got a 50% chance, okay?
Guys, that was then. This is now. Now I don't care what the guy looks like as long as he treats me right and is honest with me and loyal.
Hey, well, I'm single.
Like.
How you doing?
I'm not single.
Oh, well, that blows.
I don't wear this for my health.
Well, why do you wear it then?
Because I'm in a committed relationship.
How very disappointing.
What's that?
Monogamy, what's that?
What's a committed relationship? I have yet to find one of those.
Why can't this just be a cooperative understanding? Why does it have to be like bound to somebody else, like they own you in a sense? It's pseudoscience to me, man.
No. He doesn't own me. I own him.
That's the same scenario. You're bound to somebody. Somebody owns you, or you own somebody. Why can't this be a cooperative understanding?
Cooperate with women, bro? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, I am. I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
Yeah, this is how you make a woman cooperate. You tie her to the bed and you tell her to shut up.
Yeah, no, that just makes her hate you. Unless she likes that kind of thing.
Okay, I think Cursed Wolf's got a case of the foot herpes again.
Nah, if she won't shut up, you just use one of these.
I got diarrhea of the mouth whenever I decide to expel my diarrhea out my mouth. So the whole thing is you tie her to the bed and you take her own dirty panties and you shove it in her mouth so she don't say any damn thing. You never have to worry about anything, and she's fine, man.
You know what's fun? You know what's funny about that? I had a chick ask me to do that to her like yesterday. Not gonna say any words or any names or anything, but sauce.
But yeah. Basically, if you tie them to the bed, you feed them 3 times a day, you water them every 3 to 8 hours, 3 to 6, 8 hours, and you stuff their dirty panties in their mouth, and you keep them regulated. You make sure they have food. You make sure they have a place to get rid of their waste. You make sure that they're happy. You do all that. They might hate you, but at least they know that you're
keeping them regulated. What are they? A fucking motor vehicle? You change the oil every 20,000 miles or whatever. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, you got.
Damn.
Do a tune-up.
You want to know what I say to that? I say, fuck that. I am not some prisoner or sex slave. Okay? I'm not. I'm not an object for you to, keep a hold of. I'm not no fucking pet. Okay? I'm a human being. I should be treated as such.
Smokey!
I think you made an enemy.
I will
You notice
not.
how quiet it got all of a sudden?
I will not be tied down. Ever.
Fucking Robbie's face. Robbie hasn't said anything for like the past 25, 30 minutes, man. He's just sitting there. He's like, I am not putting fucking foot herpes in my mouth, okay? He's like, I want to go home STD free tonight.
No shit.
Wisest decision a man could ever make.
The sad part is, with everything that homeboy just said, all I pictured was it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose.
It does what it's told. It puts the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. Just put the dog in the basket.
Oh man, no, I don't want to be forced to be tied down. If I say, yeah, you can go ahead and tie me down, then it's okay.
Okay,
But
Jen, can I tie you down?
No.
Oh.
If it's forced, then I will. You better believe that I will break free and I will cut your dick off and shove it down your throat.
I didn't know we were interviewing Lorena Bobbitt.
Take it easy, Lorena. You know, you don't have to crush nuts. You don't have to fucking chop dicks off. All you gotta do is just graze nuts. It's a delayed reaction, but it hurts just as bad.
Well, I could always do what I want to do to my ex-husband. I want to take one of those thin blades and make about 1,000 tiny cuts on his penis, and then I want to take lemon juice and squeeze that onto those cuts, and then rub it in salt.
Genevieve, you need to shut the fuck up. You're making me cringe over here.
Me, I'm just thinking, fuck, I think I lost my soulmate.
She's turning me on.
Well,
the sad part is I'm sitting there thinking, how many times did you think about doing that to Kelly?
Oh, more than I can count. About 100 times.
Yeah,
every time
I have to ask, and I'm sorry, sweetheart. I have to ask. What the fuck?
He had a big dick. Okay, there.
Is that it? I mean, is that it? Is that all that fucking weird looking motherfucker has going for him? Because, oh my god.
Yes.
Well,
his dick is 11 by like 3. Okay.
What was he conceived by a nuclear power plant? Fuck.
I don't know, but
what the fuck is that? Fucking, is that how tall fucking Triple X is?
I don't know. But he is 11 inches long and 3 inches around.
Shit.
That is why I kept going back.
Boy, there's choosing quantity over quality.
So basically what you're telling us, Genevieve, in the famous words of, Jay from Jay and the Silent Bob, is you love the cack.
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, yeah. She practically raped me when I first met her.
I'm not saying nothing on that.
Hey, we were together for about a week and then you freaking pinned me down?
Hey, Wolf. Wolf.
I think he's gone.
We can't hear you.
Ow! Motherfucker.
We can hear you.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear him either.
I can.
I could.
I can't hear Jenna either. I can't hear Jenna or Wolf.
Ditto, I can't see either. I can't hear either.
Hey guys, I gotta get going.
How long did it last?
Good night, man.
Wait, with Kelly? How long did he last?
Pop-Tart, 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 Pop-Tart.
Dude, Kelly lasted like 3-4 hours.
Oh, that's me on a regular.
Well, nice to know I can beat his record.
Can I have one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lasted on one of his really good days, like when he was on one of his good nights when he was drunk. He lasted about 6 hours, all night basically.
And Wolf's gone again.
Okay.
That must be because he wasn't feeling nothing.
Probably.
Robbie, you fucking Robbie, dude.
I was referring to the fact that he was drunk.
Yes, I know what you meant.
You
Robbie.
just
It's
got
okay.
a bad case of the foot herpes. You should shut up now.
No, I know what he meant. Guys, I know what he meant.
It's not 11 by 3 or 2 by 4 or whatever you called it.
He was 11 inches long, 3 inches around.
Okay. I almost dread asking this. Who was better, me or him?
As in using it, or in all around?
Obviously, you know.
I want to hear the answer. I want to hear the answer to this. I'm just gonna stay silent from here on out. I want to hear
Answer
this.
both. Answer both.
Okay. In using his extra appendage, he wasn't all that great at it. It was
mechanical.
Not really. Yeah, it was mechanical. It was mechanical. So you were better in using it, and you are better in everything.
I feel vindicated. But I had a feeling I knew the answer, but still had to ask.
I mean, the only other thing that
Shut up, Robbie.
What is it, Robbie? Out with it.
No, I was just saying, and Skeletor wins.
Feel that I have the Skeletor's breakfast burrito.
Oh God.
You know, since we're making He-Man references, you know, in that essence, Skeletor had the power.
Well, the thunder from under and never have to wonder who.
No shit.
Oh my goodness.
For some reason, it popped into my head the day after I lost my virginity when I went over to Robbie's.
I think everybody lost their virginity at Robbie's house, except for me.
I didn't lose my virginity.
I didn't.
I went over to his house the next day and I had that glow about me, and he fucking joked me like a motherfucker, dude.
He comes walking in. Okay, this is why. This motherfucker comes walking into my house smiling from fucking ear to ear. I was like, did you get your dick wet?
And how did that go?
Little Tin Man became a real boy. I'm a real boy, huh?
Well, he went from being tin to full-on aluminum.
I'm Mickey Mouse, huh?
Fucking Tourette.
There's so much blood, huh?
Wow.
Want to join me in my clubhouse?
No. You pedophilic mouse.
How dare you!
Okay.
I won't let my son watch Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse because of that.
Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Oy vey.
Okay. So what other secrets about women can you reveal before they hunt you down and kill you?
Let's see. What's another one? Gosh.
Here's a better thing. You know, just write a letter to CNN.
Whoa, your
the
face
Cunt
got
Liberty
all big.
Network and see what kind of lies they'll tell about it.
Right? I should, huh?
Repeat that?
You said I should
told
write.
her. Write a letter to CNN, the Cunt Nibblers Network, and fucking see what kind of lies they tell about it.
No shit.
It'd be fun to watch.
I got a camera. We can watch it together.
God, that just sounded pretty. We can watch it together.
Yeah. Or watch it after the fact. Again and again.
Oh. So, Robbie, you're still in Cali, right?
Yo, Tin Robbie.
No, I'm in Arizona.
Okay. Okay, so Tin Man and Patrick, when are you guys going to come and visit me?
Just let us know when your husband's not home.
Well, I have my mom and my dad and my brother here right now, and Steven's in Ohio.
What are you doing next weekend?
No shit.
Picking Steven up from the airport.
How very disappointing.
Hey, you, Robbie, when can you come visit me?
Where the fuck are you at?
Nebraska.
Bellevue, Nebraska.
Fuck.
He's like, what?
Oh yeah. I moved from the shithole Hemet, California last year.
Right on. I'll tell you the same thing I tell my mom and everybody who keep asking me to come visit them in California. I'll come visit you when I can afford it.
Which, at this particular pay rate, will be in the next, 10 years.
Well, no, not necessarily, because I just got a raise up to $11.50. So.
Hours.
Well, I gotta file my taxes for the first time this year.
Yay.
It's scary.
It's not scary. It's just one of those things. It's like, I know I owe the fucking IRS like $4,000.
I don't owe them anything because I haven't had a job. Well, a real job.
Well, I owe them about 500 something, so I'm gonna hold up. I'm gonna fix my W-4. I'm gonna have them take out a little extra. That way, I'm gonna file this year's and next year's W-2 together and balance it out. So I know how to.
You know, I love having short hair. I don't know why I didn't do it before.
Because we men like having something long to pull on.
I guess that rules you out, Chris.
Oh, you know better.
I still have hair on the back of my head. Look. I still have hair on the back of my head, so still there.
Yeah, well, there's a right way to pull hair and a
You're
wrong
having
way to
sex
pull
with a
hair.
chick pulling his own damn hair.
Yeah, I may not be fucking 3 by 11, but you know what? I've got a big enough fucking dick. She knows. She's like, yes, he does. And he knows how to use it.
Okay, so on that note, I'm going to go to bed. Y'all can talk about each other's dicks and shit like that. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Here, Patrick, I know you had some curiosities about women and
yeah, ask.
fucking questions in regards to the way women act or present themselves a certain way, like how a man should respond. You know, why don't you go ahead and put that out there?
I do.
Yeah, what you were asking me yesterday.
About what?
Shit, I almost stepped up the dog.
Hey, don't touch me there!
Oh, gosh. You know, Robbie, I kind of wish my son wasn't asleep. I would love for you to see him.
There's always other times.
Turn the vibrator off!
Yeah. Okay.
My vibrator alone.
She said okay.
I was responding to Robbie.
I know.
Okay, so what's the question?
Okay, I was asking Chris yesterday a question.
He's trying to figure out how to word it.
Yeah.
Basically, if
Sexual innuendo. When do you know when is the right time to release that information? Like I was told. Okay, get this. I was told by a certain someone that they really liked it that I hadn't, gone sexual with them. Then they started showing me things on camera.
Okay.
But
making subtle suggestions.
yeah, making subtle suggestions. But I mean, do I keep not making any kind of subtle suggestions back or what?
No, at that point, she's made the first move. Go for it.
Okay, so take pictures of my dick and send it to her. Gotcha.
Ask her if she wants those first.
Okay, so take pictures of my ass and send it to her.
No.
I'm just giving you a hard time, chick.
Start off small. Take pictures of your muscles, your tattoos, and stuff like that, and send them to her. And then that'll open up the door more for you to start sending, dick pics and stuff like that.
Okay. So sending other body extremities and body art, kind of ease into it.
I've already done all that though.
Yeah.
Is there another one? Can I have another one?
Okay. Here's one. Why do women procrastinate? Like they say they want to do something, but then they hesitate or they freaking keep putting it off and putting it off.
Because they really do want to do it, they're just not sure if they will be able to do it the right way.
Elaborate.
Okay,
They want to do it, just not with you, Chris, okay? That's what she's trying to say.
no, it's not, no.
I'm just fucking.
I know you
are. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of, okay, so say a girl has agreed to, she says, yeah, I want to do anal, but she's procrastinating. When she's procrastinating, it means that she's not sure if she's not sure if she's ready for what might be pain, or she's not sure if
it's gonna be messy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take this out of a sexual context. Put this in a literal scenario that is actually happening.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I already know.
We already know who I'm talking about here. She said that she wants to move out here with me. And even this past August, we were on Skype while I was at work, and she was saying, "Hey, Sue, how soon could you put me on a fucking bus out there?" She wants to fucking do it. She's serious about doing it. I'm the one that she wants to do it with. She wants to move in. She wants to move out of her mom's house to move in with me. But has not made that move, and move me. Anytime I bring it up, I lay down a game plan. She's like, yeah, that's a great game plan, blah blah blah, but doesn't make any push to actually doing it.
She's scared. She's afraid that she's afraid that as soon as she leaves, that something will happen to her mom.
All right, let me ask you this question in retrospect to that. I told Chris that he need, because in a situation like that, after it's been so long, you know what I mean? Shit's been thrown around back and forth, and nothing's ever come of it. And since she's not taking control, I told him, I said, why don't you just go get a ticket, send it, and be like, I can't get a refund on this, so I'll see you at the airport, or I'll pick you up at the bus station when you get there. And don't give her a choice to say no.
Might drive her away.
She doesn't have a car.
Okay, that might push her away.
Chris can't reach. Not from here.
Oh
anyway.
My god.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well, my boss and I have talked about it extensively. And you know, she's a woman. So she thinks that maybe she's just dicking me around, like just talking about it, but it's
I was
not
just
about
getting
it.
ready to say that.
Might be saving you as a last resort.
She might be, but I'm not sure about that. I mean, I don't know if that is the case. Um, I mean, I'd have to have more um, details about it in order to give a definitive answer. Um, but from what I can tell, yeah, she's waiting to the last minute until something falls through.
She's lining up, getting her ducks in a row for when it happens. For when
Oh,
so when the floor falls out beneath her, she's got somewhere to fucking fall. She's got a safety net.
Kinda, but then again, it's more the more I think about it, it's probably more she's got a guy out there where she's at, and she's just waiting for the right time or waiting for him to screw up so she can come to you.
No, she's single. She actually recently got out of a relationship, a long distance relationship at that, because it was as I said it would be. You know, they had never met face to face, and he turned out to not be what she expected, and not what he advertised.
I don't know.
I know not as described. So that whole thing fell apart. That it's pretty much just been her and I.
I don't know. I mean, it might be that, but I know that a lot of the time when I postponed on certain things like that, it was because I was waiting for what I was the situation that I was originally in to go bad, and I wanted to have a last resort. And when that didn't happen, I just stopped talking to the person.
I see. Who's calling?
It's Curtis.
Popsicle.
Wow. Well, I think we probably go as far as we can tonight. Grandmaster Evan's gone. Lucy's running back and forth, making weird obscenities.
Poopy, 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 poopy. I gotta send you guys that whole thing.
That shit was hilarious. Like legit. Whoa, what the fuck?
Are there any other things that you guys want to know?
Oh, I want to know a lot, sweetheart. But you're in a committed relationship, remember?
I meant about women's secrets.
Like I said, there's a lot I want to know, but you're in a committed relationship, sweetheart.
Okay.
Okay, here's one for you. The age-old question: Is it what's more important to a woman, the size that matters, or how you use it?
How you use it, nigga, for reals.
Be honest.
A woman. If a woman is If a woman is superficial, then she'll go for the size. If a woman is actually looking for someone genuine, then she'll go for how he uses it.
I see.
Because if a guy takes care in how he uses, then that means that he pays attention to detail and he pays attention to what women like. If she's superficial, she's just looking for a one night stand, and she's not. I wouldn't mess with it because that means that she's the town bicycle.
Everybody gets a turn.
Everybody's at a ride, like certain people we know.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, asshole? Are you talking about me, motherfucker?
No.
I have a guilty conscience.
No, I was actually thinking about Jessica in that context.
Who is Jessica?
Robbie knows. I'll let Robbie tell you that one.
Anyway, you guys started losing me after we lost track of the main topic. Started talking about sex and stuff, so I just kind of was like, whatever, making jokes or whatever. But on some real shit.
I kept getting interrupted, but I would rather my son be in homeschool because then he won't have to deal with bullying and he won't have to deal with anything that comes with public school.
Right.
But then on the other hand, I would want him to be in public school so he develops social skills.
I've known people of both sides, and I do know for a fact that people in private school, believe it or not, or homeschool, believe it or not, have better social skills than people in they tend to be more outgoing and tend to be more socially acceptable because they are so by themselves, you know what I mean? So they don't have the typical judgments in regular society that normal kids would be subjugated to. So I think that my personal opinion and seeing both sides of the story, me being a public school kid and a friend of mine being homeschooled, I think that she's way more outgoing than I am, and I'm a pretty outgoing person. And but I still have the typical withdrawal that a normal person would have as far as fear is to trying to get to know somebody because of the fact that I was in public school and the fear of rejection. You know what I mean? As opposed to her not being around people and not being afraid of being rejected and wanting to make friends and wanting to be socially accepted, stuff like that. So she doesn't judge as much. And so she's able to go out there and just be a little more outgoing and truthful and honest and, have an opinion that is, worth something as opposed to somebody who from public school might not think that their opinion is worth anything because of being, fear of being judged and whatnot.
Okay.
So do you think that any freaking parents who homeschool their kids are potentially hiding child abuse? Like, do you think that's a...
Yes, you, Chris.
Well, I don't have any children, so that
No, I don't think all parents who homeschool are that way. I think it's more of they're afraid that their kid's gonna get hurt or gonna get bullied, or they're gonna get into drugs or something like that. There are some cases that the parents are hiding abuse, but I don't know for sure.
Fuck, you got quiet.
I think we're pretty well good on the...
Tweet. Creek.
I think we're pretty well good tonight. Should we just call it? Yeah. All right. Well, on behalf of Jenna, Ghost Wolf, Grandmaster Evan, Robbie, Genevieve, Frederick, thank you for your participation tonight. And this has been your roundtable. This is the Tin Man with the Resistance, with Lucid grinning at the camera. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance.